Okay, and here is Punch, not Counterpunch. Counterpunch is the Decepticon. I've made that mistake a couple of takes already. I've called him Counterpunch. Anyway, this is Punch. Detailing on this guy is better than Counterpunch. A lot nicer anyway, and I'll show you why obviously in the next part. I do like the face a lot. I'll just pull him in closer so you can see. Oh, look at that. For some reason it's gone all blue. That doesn't make sense. Anywho, you can see a nice big faceplate, kind of like Prime's, which is good, and he does have indentations around the, around here for his eyes, which is good as well. The helmet, I'd guess I'd call it a helmet. It does look nice, and it does have these kind of pointy bits, I guess, like for Batman kind of style. But it's nice. It's a nice face, nicely molded. It looks great. So I'll just pull him back. And we'll move on to... That was just me getting the light perhaps a little better. We'll move on to his chest, which has the Autobot rub symbol right in the center of it, which is good. I do prefer Transformers to have their symbols right in the center of the chests. These bits give a nice kind of body frame. Obviously this bit here where there's no detailing, and this bit here is supposed to, I guess, show where his waistline is, which is, quite good. It's not great. Stickers are quite nice as well, and he does have little lines put on his arm, which you can kind of see, and the fists have been done quite nicely as well. They each have a separate finger, and it's got a thumb on the inside as well, which is, great, especially for a G1er. The legs, however, I don't want to say suck, but compared to the rest of them, they do suck. They've got no detailing on them, and they've got these giant gaps in. Just pull them back. They've got these giant gaps in, which are for when these bits come down, and you flip them around for the car mode. But nothing you can do about that at all. It's just transformation stuff. This personally is my favourite of the three modes, I guess you could say. I'd recommend, if you have him, to keep him in this mode. But now we'll move on to Counterpunch for the last part. So I'll see you. And we're back, and here is Counterpunch. And as you can see, well, it's not as noticeable from the front, but from the side, you can kind of see what I was talking about with the arm problem. They're set really, really far back. It would have been nice if they maybe put in some kind of slot or something, just so you could push the arms forward to make the figure a lot nicer to look at. But looking at it, I don't think there is enough room to put it in, but it's a shame. Like I said before, this mode is a little bit, I wouldn't say boring, but it's got a lot less interesting colour on it than Punch. I'm getting mixed up. Yeah, because he's just obviously the blue and the black. A nice Decepticon mode though. Not a great deal of detail on him, I'll be honest. Mainly because, he's just got the chest here, which takes up a lot of the detail that Punch had. Punch had a lot of more detail, as you've seen, on his chest. But, he's not bad. He has the same articulation, except instead of his arms moving forward, instead of doing that, they just kind of go side to side and swivel at the elbow there, which, doesn't look great. But he does have his own Decepticon insignia rub symbol, which is quite nice that they've put that in. And the bit that I like best about it is, from this side, obviously this is Punch's side, you flip the forehead bit back and his face is revealed, so both heads are basically in one mold, and it's really nicely hidden, I think. It's not a huge thing, but I think it's just flipping it down and across like that makes it stop looking like a face and kind of hides it, which is good. It's not like you need to unclip a head and put a different head on him or whatever. He's not like Sideways from Armada. Is it Armada? Oh, I don't know. Probably is. Anyway, finally we'll move on to the detail part, but I don't think that's going to be long because there's not much detail on this guy. So I guess I'll see you for that bit next. Okay, and here is Counterpunch. And as you know, I've shown you before, you look from this angle, you can see the extent of how far these arms are from the rest of the body, which is a big disappointment, to be honest, but what can you do? Like I've said, this is probably going to be quite short because there is not much I can talk about in detail wise, because, well, there's not much there. I'm looking at him, and I suppose the only detailing that you do get that's extra are like these parts on the legs here, which are made to make it look a little bit less boring, because obviously around the other side where Punch would be, you know, you have these big stickers. So at least they molded something a little bit different for Counterpunch. You know, the hands, they're alright. They're about the same quality as Punch's. You know, you can see the fists and the fingers and the thumb there, and they do have a little bit of detailing around the arms, but not a great deal. So you know, it's alright, but they could have done more with it. I was hoping. The face, again, is a little bit bland, to be honest. You've got this giant visor bit, and then this teeny little mouth compared to Punch. So you know, it's not great. This is pretty much why I don't like this mode quite as much. It brings down the figure, in my opinion, if they'd put in maybe a bit more engineering effort. But saying that, he is a very unique Transformer. He is, I'd almost go and say one of a kind, because, you know, Double Dealer does have Autobot and Decepticon allegiance, but he transforms into a robot and a bird, so it's not quite the same. Just giving him his guns there. I know Sideways is the same, but I don't count Sideways because I hate Sideways. Actually, I forgot. The only other detailing is, you can see there, he's got these weird little lumps on his feet, which are quite nice. But they don't really add anything to this guy. So I'd actually recommend you getting him just displaying as Punch, because your collection's going to look a lot better if you do than keep him like this. If you've got money, you know, buy two, have one Punch, have one Counterpunch. I only paid about 20 quid for this guy, but I was quite lucky. So I hope you enjoyed the review. If you didn't, you know, whatever, I'm sorry. Tomorrow I'm trying to debate what to do. I'll either do part 2 of G.I. Joe vs Transformers comic review, or I'll do this guy, Point Blank, with what's his face on the top. I never remember the Autobots ones because I didn't care. They're not Decepticons. So I'll let you, the viewing public, decide what I do. You know, comic or Target Master. There he is. So it's up to you, public of YouTube. So I guess I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully.